Hi guys, Vivian's here, postcard from Cebu. I love you, baby.
Vivian had to go back to the hospital. She was bleeding quite a bit, and some of the cancer had formed a new tumor in her gut, and so she was in the hospital from Saturday until Tuesday, 2 weeks ago. She came home and she's doing better now, and we actually have an appointment to see the oncologist again on Wednesday of next week. So today is the 7th of September, and so we'll have more news then. But right now she's not feeling up to being on camera, and I quite frankly don't blame her. So it's quite all right by me, and I'm sure it's okay with you too. So I thought what I'd do is I'd go through some of the comments I've been getting, and discuss some of that stuff. Kind of give you a feel for what we deal with on a regular basis here. Okay, so let's start with this first comment here. This is from Richard Hernandez, and this is about a video we did called "Be Careful About Marrying a Young Filipina." And we did that video about a year ago. Here it is. And it's kind of gone somewhat viral. This video has got 617,000 views in the last year. So what Richard Hernandez says, my name is Joseph. Okay, so Joseph, I'm interested in finding a Filipino for marriage, etc., etc. I hear so many stories, relationships and stuff. And of course, he's commenting on this, be careful about marrying a young Filipina. And in that video, I was specifically talking to the guys. I was commenting on something that I see a lot of in YouTube videos about old guys, like me. I'm 60 and Vivian's 50, but I see a lot of older guys marrying very young girls, and of course they bring them back to the States, and I'm specifically talking to Americans here, but I guess it applies to any Western guy. And then they're dismayed when after a few years, this young girl meets a lot of guys her own age and runs off with one of them. They get divorced, and then she finds somebody else, blah, blah, blah. That's just one of many scenarios. The problem comes that there's a big misunderstanding of the people that see that video, in that they think, one, that I'm talking about myself, which I am not. I'm actually commenting on stuff that I have seen from other channels, and also people that I know personally that have gone through that kind of thing. And it comes from guys not thinking through what they're really doing, and also marrying for the wrong reason. So really, if you're going to marry a girl, then you really should be in love with her, and vice versa, and you should be sure of that. So think with the big head. That's kind of the message of that video. The other thing that's kind of interesting, let's look at Algin23. Her response to this video was quite a bit different. She's like, hey, old man, don't find poor young Filipina because he used you to believe wealth. You're a fucking fool. If you marry a young Filipino, you marry the whole nation, blah, blah, blah. So she's pissed off. Now, the thing is that she didn't understand the real meaning of this video, because I'm talking to basically American guys in the video, and I'm talking like the way Americans use English, not the way Filipinos use English, and they use it in a slightly different manner. Quite a few things are different about it. So I think she did not fully understand that I'm actually not, I have nothing against Filipinas. I'm married to one, and I love my wife very much, and we've been together for quite some time now. And you guys, the loyal subscribers, you know the story. So there's quite often, I find, with Filipinas a big misunderstanding when it comes to that. As a matter of fact, let me scroll down here all right, so here's Linda, who says, finally, a nice and rather hot man who married an age-appropriate woman. So she's obviously an American, and she's speaking American-style English when she writes with this, okay? She says, I'm so sick of watching the old fat white guys with sagging bodies marry these 21-year-old girls. So she got the point, okay, of that video. And actually, this one was about dating and marrying an older Filipino, I think. Dating and marrying an older Filipino. Anyway, so she got, because her English is more like mine, she got what was going on there. And a lot of times the Filipinos don't. And I apologize to you Filipinos that you don't get all the little nuances in that discussion of the video, Be Careful About Marrying a Young Filipina. But believe me, I have absolutely nothing against Filipinos. Once again, like I said, I'm married to one and I love my wife very much. Joe Gonzalez is like, these old men that go to the Filipinas to get young women are just perverts. Well, you know, some are, I'm sure, and some aren't. And you can't judge everybody with a broad stroke of the paintbrush. In this video, I was talking about 4 ways to supplement your retirement income, and it was just basically throwing ideas out and looking for responses. And Nald here comes back with you can do drop shipping, and I've heard about that. Excuse me, guys. I've heard about drop shipping. I've seen 1 or 2 videos on the subject. It's not something that I've personally ever gotten involved in, but it seems like a viable business opportunity. There is a blog by a guy, Philly, I think it is, who has, and I read his blog occasionally, and he mentions a couple of times in there, do your business via the U.S. In other words, you do an international business, but do it based out of the U.S. Set up a U.S. bank account, do your business there, collect your money in U.S. dollars, because it's very difficult to do it otherwise. And kind of what my idea, because I'm not too far away from retiring, and the idea hopefully is that Vivian and I will move back to Cebu, and I can operate the businesses in U.S. dollars out of my U.S. bank, and I've got a thing set up with an outfit called Remitly, where I can simply remit money from my U.S. bank account to our BDO account, and we can just the BDO account is a Filipino peso-based account, and the U.S. account, of course, is a dollar-denominated account. So that's a way that I can transfer money back and forth. As a matter of fact, I do right now to our kids that are over in the Philippines. So Vivian writes, been a while, we haven't heard from Vivian, and she's commenting on an update I did, what's going on with Ken and Vivian. And thank you, Vivian. We love you too, and you've been very kind to us. I hope she's better, talking about Vivian, and she gets cured, and both are well. When she says both are well, I'm not sure if she means Mom and Vivian or me and Vivian, but yeah, all 3 of us are doing okay right now. Frank writes in, Ken, you're a very lucky guy. My best to you and your lovely wife. Keep it up. Best wishes, Frank. Thank you, Frank, very much. And SN Bros, after married with Filipino girl, how long it takes to get a Filipino nationality? Now, Frank, I really don't know, because I've not tried to get a Filipino nationality yet. Vivian and I met, fell in love, got married, and she came here to the U.S. And so maybe when we go back, I'll learn about that stuff, but I haven't really been involved in it, and so I can't really answer your question. Anybody here, any of you subscribers, this is under what documents, what documentation do I need? If you have any idea what that takes for a foreigner to get um, a visa, I know there's an SRRV, special residence retirement visa, and some other things that you can do. I know my friend Phil, his wife Jonah sponsored him for a long-term visa or permanent visa. So there are ways to do it. I just don't know what they are. So sorry, but I really can't answer your question. But maybe some of the other folks here can answer that question for you, and leave it in that comment. What documents in that video? Find SN Bros comment and reply to him. Maybe we can help him out, understand what's going on. Mike here is in responding to health insurance in the Philippines, and he goes through and tells us all that he did. Thank you for that, Mike. Flash 20, never get married from a poor country. Also on this, be careful about marrying a young Filipina. Same with this guy, Zenodotus of Athens. Be careful about marrying a young Filipina, duh. Watchman, thank you very much. God bless you and Vivian. I keep you in my prayers. Thanks, Watchman. God bless you too. Kenneth is Delancey, maybe? Kenneth Delancey. This is kind of a disconjointed comment here, but he's like, so why did you go all the way to the Philippines to meet a Filipina? Well, Kenneth, I went because that's where Vivian was. And I actually didn't go there to meet her. We had already met and had known each other for about 6 months before I ever went to the Philippines. So he goes to say, well, it's a rhetorical question. Why did you go to the Philippines to meet a Filipina? There are 10 million single Filipinas right here in America. And I met some of them prior to meeting Vivian, and wasn't very impressed. So it only makes sense to do that if you're going to retire in the Philippines. Well, I wasn't even thinking about retirement. And later on, he asks, what are you waiting for? You need to retire. How old are you? 65? What are you waiting for? Well, I'm waiting to become 65. I'm only 60 right now. So I need a few more years before I'm eligible for retirement. But the interesting part here is when he went on to say, I did not go to the Philippines to make someone's dreams come true. It was my retirement, and I was only interested in making my dreams come true. Well, I understand. It just sounds kind of selfish to me. Your wife is your wife, and it should be your partner for life, my traveling partner, my partner in crime. And, in the case of Vivian, one of her dreams is to go to Paris. And if it hadn't been for the cancer that's come along, I would have already taken her there. And at some point, we're going to make that trip. But it's a two-way street, there are two lives joined together, both of whom have dreams. And it would be my desire to make the dreams of both of us come true. So, a lot of guys, and that's what the video that I made, be careful about marrying a young Filipina, is that a lot of guys are making these decisions based on only their own desires and not really caring about the desires of their wife. It's a two-way street. You join together as a couple. You should be able to share those moments together, and it's not about you just having your way or she just having her way. It's about both of you together working through these things and having a wonderful, magical life together. And I wish that for you and your wife. I truly do. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please feel free to leave comments in the comments section below. Like and share this video. Also, feel free to visit the GoFundMe campaign and help us out. Vivian, cancer is a very expensive process, and the treatments are very expensive. So any help is appreciated very much. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Up there somewhere is Vivian's pretty face. Click on it to subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you join us. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.